The Chris Tyson situation could become a complete disaster for MrBeast brand. However, it may also provide some unique benefits. So let's begin by going over the drama before.
I don't think it's gonna be. It might, because he has such a large, very large fan base, and I think they vary in political beliefs. I think his fan base is also all over the world, but a lot of the world's also homophobic. So yeah, he might get some hate, but like he's not. He doesn't have a right-wing grift channel, so he's gonna be okay for the most part. But he also has a lot of 14-year-old teenage edgelords who are probably gonna be under his Twitter, just straight up bullying him throughout this whole thing. That's for sure gonna be happening.
Before explaining exactly how this will impact the MrBeast channel. In mid-2022, fans began to notice that Chris Tyson was changing. In the early days, he represented the quintessential southern gun and truck-loving dude, yet beginning in March 2022, Chris began to display increasingly feminine traits, making tweets such as, "I finally got my nails done at a nail tech."
But this is also gonna just increase their viewership too, because people love drama. And this is going to make the whole MrBeast crew much more interesting, and people are going to be just tuning in just to see this.
Initially, Chris would highlight that his facial appearance,
which they already wore, they had like but this is going to boost their content even more, if you understand content.
Changed significantly since the start of the pandemic, which accompanied another post reading, "Okay, so in 4 different customs I had to prove I was myself because I quote look nothing like my passport pic, so much that I'm considering updating my passport. Do you see any resemblance?" Prompting replies such as, "You went from man to boy." Chris responded by stating, "Nah, to be honest, I just really started taking my mental health seriously and eating better," yet his Twitter photos kept insinuating that Chris was becoming more feminine, with this same kind of look showing up in his MrBeast appearances. For example, on the 6th of January 2023, Beast Reacts uploaded a video titled "I strapped a GoPro to a fish," in which Chris dressed in a way that prompted comments such as, "Chris has been adopting more and more traits that remind me of my grandmother." Okay, so some people just gonna ignore Chris's nails? Chris had to have lost a bet. The look is getting wild. The response to the video then prompted countless viral TikToks, such as this one with 700,000 likes, stating, "How did Chris go from this to this?" While others even made the claim that Carl had turned him gay. Now, this was pretty ridiculous.
Bro, why do people care, to be honest with you? Like, what the f are you so involved? Like, I honestly do not give a damn flying F word of what, like, Chris puts on. Like, why y'all care so much? Just enjoy the video, enjoy the content. Stop focusing on whether somebody got their nails painted. What does that make you?
As Carl isn't even that feminine, and Chris had come out as bisexual years before he and Carl had even met. The true catalyst for Chris Tyson's feminization instead seemed to have
way, bro, I actually left his wife and kid.
Come from his marriage. In January 2022, Chris would post a photo with his wife to his Instagram, yet after this, the family photo stopped altogether. Fans also noticed that he—
I ain't gonna lie, this is annoying. Why does bro do this? Y'all hear this? Like what is that?
Yet after this, the family photo stopped altogether.
Y'all hear that? Like, what is that?
Fans also noticed that he'd removed his wedding ring, with the ring's absence correlating perfectly with the very first post in which he'd painted his nails. Chris confirmed the split in a post from March 2023 reading, "For a little over a year now, me and Katie have been separated," with this also confirming that Chris's transformation began as soon as his marriage came to an end. Chris went from lighting campfires and raising a family with his beautiful wife to now trying to be a wife with his man buns and long nails.
Chris went from lighting campfires and raising a family with his beautiful wife to now to be a wife with his man buns and long nails.
As the criticism continued to pile, Chris announced that he'd be taking—
Bro, why do these people care so much what this man, like this person, sorry, I don't want to like, I'd rather just respect this person's pronouns and stuff. I'm not gonna like, I might slip up here and there because I'm not very much good at it, but why y'all care what Chris does with Chris' life? You get what I'm saying? Like, why are you so invested? You came to enjoy content MrBeast creates. Why do you care what Chris relationship is with his wife? Like, do y'all give a damn? Like, what the hell? Do you even care what your neighbors is doing with his wife or with their relationship. No, you don't. Like, why do you just enjoy the content and shut the up?
Taking a break from social media. And while there was a possibility that Chris would make efforts to return to his former self, he'd rather do the opposite and double down on his feminine image, showing up to the Kids' Choice Awards looking like this, before making the announcement that he'd been doing HRT for approximately 2 months, which according to a quick Google search is the medical process for changing genders. Chris would expand on this by stating, "Informed consent HRT saved my and many others' lives. The hurdles GNC people have to jump through to get life-saving gender-affirming healthcare in a first world country is wild to me. Just let people make informed decisions about their own bodies," which received a positive response from both Carl and MrBeast, who
Got you. I did one more heart. I did one more heart than Carl because I'm a better friend.
wrote, "Got you, I did one more heart than..."
But this trans thing is very complicated. It's very confusing for your average people. But I watched a couple of videos and like doctors, psychologists seem to recognize that professionals say it's a real thing. So I'm gonna go with them. I do understand people having problems with like little kids being introduced to it. I can understand that stuff. But what do you care what grown adults do with their lives? Or if they want to wear a dress, if they want to take hormones, that's their biz. Like, that's what makes them happy. This is a free country at the end of the day. But I do understand if you don't want kids being like transitioning, because that's a very big decision. But Chris is an adult. You know what I'm saying? Let Chris live his life.
Carl because I'm a better friend. While his co-workers expressed positivity, others weren't so welcoming. There goes a father figure the kid won't ever be able to look up to. Hard times create strong men create good times create...
Bro, some of y'all, many of y'all have terrible fathers. Even though your father's in your life, some of your fathers is beating your mom, even though they're at your house. Some of them can't, like, don't treat you right. There's terrible fathers, many of them who are very toxic in families and stuff. Chris seems like an overall good person, and he's very wealthy. His kid is gonna have a good life, better than a lot of y'all who have fathers who are at your home, but even though your father's terrible.
Create weak men, and weak men create hard times. Weak man time.
Look at this dude.
Chris responded to this comment by stating, "This is just more dog whistling that somehow trans and GNC folks aren't safe around kids. Tucker begs for me to come back when I leave for like 2 days to film. He is so loved and happy. Kids aren't born with hate, it's taught by people like you, and my child will only know love. I know I'm going to be a great parent, and so is every other person who puts the love of their child before everything. I made this decision because I wanted to show up as my best and happiest self for him."
Is it like, that's what I'm confused by. As long as you can teach a person to be a good person, like Chris seems like a good person, isn't that what matters? If he's just teaching his kid to be a good person, is that what matters?
In a way, this was for Tucker. Chris's response received some positivity such as, "I'm convinced you're..."
Like, I know they're imperfect, but like, why you pretending like this person is like a terrible person? His kid is gonna turn out bad and all that. We don't know that.
An amazing father. Tucker is lucky to have you and also lucky to have all of those who surround and support you in his life. As well as I adore that, I'm glad you made that decision. It's so much easier to be a parental figure when you're not struggling with dysphoria, yet he'd also receive an equal amount of backlash. You rip...
True, like, what is he supposed to do? Like, be a fake person for like, and try to live like somebody he's not, and like you know what I'm saying, like try to be fake and pretend just to make his kid happy or something, because at the end of the day that's just gonna make him miserable, and that's just gonna leak into their family and stuff. So if he's just being himself and if he's happy, that actually is better for the kid in the long run.
Apart your family and took a father figure away from your son just so you could paint your nails and act zesty. Pathetic. He will get torn apart at school, won't want to have friends around his house, a life full of difference and being alone. Must have missed the point in that tweet. How's this for him when you're depriving him of a father figure? Alone. Must have missed the point. Have friends around his house, a life full of difference and...
Bro, he's gonna have friends. He's connected to MrBeast. Like this kid is gonna be very rich and he's gonna be very popular one way or another.
Being alone. Must have missed the point in that tweet. How's this for him when you're depriving him of a father figure? Although Chris wasn't altered by these comments, as he'd once again reiterate his certainty in a new post reading, "It's never too late to start being yourself," which received praise from MrBeast as well as Nolan and Carl. However, these comments also added extra fuel to the fire. In a few years, look back at this thread and remember they were never your friends. Only yes men cowards. Hope you come out of this safe.
Bro, these people act like they're in this person's life and they know him very well, or they know him behind cameras and all that stuff. Like, what the? If your friend is happy and they're living a good life, and isn't that what matters at the end? What is Chris supposed to be miserable and like they're supposed to punish him or something? Like, if he's miserable, like would you rather have a happy parent that's themselves, or a miserable parent who's like hiding what they really are or how they want to live?
MrBeast responded to this with a simple opinion irrelevant ratio, to which the original commenter would state, "I have 30 followers, so go ahead and ratio me. I'll still rest easy knowing that I'm not a coward."
Is that an AI profile he created? AI art?
Who idly sits
calls himself Alpha. Bro, if you gotta call yourself Alpha, you're not really Alpha. You know what I'm saying? Like, if a lion comes into a room, like, a lion doesn't have to tell people that he's a lion or so. You get what I'm saying? If you have to tell people you're Alpha, then you're not really Alpha.
By watching my friend ruin his own life. In some ways, it was nice to see the boys standing up for Chris on Twitter. However, the situation has already begun to change the dynamic within the videos.
Employers see tons of resumes every day and don't have time to carefully review them all, which means that...
For example, in a recent live stream titled "Opening 1,000 Mystery Art Boxes," Chris would once again dress in quite a feminine way, and while everybody participated as usual, the energy and vibe didn't feel nearly as smooth as it normally does. It felt as though there was an unaddressed elephant in quite a feminine way. Titled "Opening 1,000 Mystery Art."
Is that a live stream?
Standing up for Chris on Twitter. However, the situation has already begun to change the dynamic within the videos. For example, in a recent live stream titled "Opening 1,000 Mystery Art Boxes," Chris would once again dress in quite a feminine way, and while everybody participated as usual, the energy and vibe didn't feel nearly as smooth as it normally does. It felt as though there was an unaddressed elephant in the room, and therefore everybody was in their head, as opposed to being in the present moment enjoying each other's company. Maybe everybody was simply too busy opening packages, but Chris did make these bizarre jokes about Jimmy being female, making him incredibly uncomfortable.
Oh my god, Jimmy, look, they drew you. Jimmy, they drew you so well. It looks just like you.
Oh, yes.
Oh my god, it's Jimmy.
How did fan art? This is what we were looking for. Be brave, be honest, be kind, MrBeast. That is my tagline.
Becoming even weirder when each member started to pay each other compliments.
Hey, nice shirt. Thanks, dude, nice shirt.
Hey, nice shirt.
Thanks, dude, nice shirt.
Thanks. Nice shirt.
Nice shoes.
For the most part, the live stream was devoid of awkward moments. However, it would act as fodder for another 100 million views worth of drama and criticism. Chris likely believes that people will slowly adapt to his new appearance over time, but is this really going to happen? Well, maybe. It's difficult to say as the situation...
Yeah, bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. You better be prepared for like the shitstorm that's coming towards you. Like, if since you're a public person, or like I guess technically an online celebrity, you better be prepared for the shit that's coming towards you. It's either that or just go fully ghost, because there's gonna be hella bullying that's gonna be coming towards Chris's way.
It's fairly unique, especially when considering Chris's reputation and influence. However, if Chris continues to transition, would it be unreasonable to say that he could jeopardize some of the personality traits which made him a successful member in the first place? Perhaps the opposite will happen, and he'll instead pick up new personality traits that better resonate with...
Wait, what?
However, if Chris continues to transition, would it be unreasonable to say that he could jeopardize some of the personality traits which made him a successful member in the first place?
Bro, what are you talking about? Like, like some of those things are just gonna be there. Like he's just transitioning. Just because like it doesn't mean he's gonna be like, you know what I'm saying? Like if he's entertaining, he's still gonna be entertaining, or it doesn't not gonna do that much. Like what the fuck is he talking about?
Perhaps the opposite will happen, and he'll instead pick up new personality traits that better resonate with the current MrBeast audience. This was put forward in many comments supportive of Chris, who implied that there'll be millions of queer kids who look up to him, although this doesn't necessarily mean that it'll add any value to the videos. MrBeast has likely cultivated a massive LGBT audience, all of whom are already watching anyway, and if we've learned anything from Hollywood in recent years, it's that adding over-the-top LGBT characters for the sake of relatability rarely works as intended, and is often nothing more than a distraction from the premise of the movie.
What are you talking about? Like, Chris is just gonna be Chris. We come there for like the entertaining videos they do. We don't come there what Chris, like, you know what I'm saying? Like how he dresses or anything. People come to watch because of like all the games and stuff they play and all the like crazy wild shit that they do. It does, like, we don't give what Chris wears.
Or video. On top of this, it can be uncomfortable and unrelatable for the silent majority, although as we have seen, a situation like Chris's does have the potential to create an otherworldly amount of discussion, which could be seen as a benefit for the MrBeast brand.
Drama is good for growth, 100%. That would be an easy way to up my
So
views
you're
if
a
I got
Keemstar
it.
The problem is this type of situation is probably the last thing that MrBeast wants to attract, as he's forced to agree with Chris's position, as he has no way of manipulating the situation without being painted as the bad guy.
Bro, what are you talking about? Like not everybody's a weirdo like you, man, that cares about what trans people do with their lives. I'm pretty sure MrBeast is just there to make entertaining videos and just donate his money. Like I think that's the main thing about Jimmy. Like you're projecting your like weird shit to him.
It's a lose-lose situation for MrBeast. I think Jimmy is in an inescapable situation. If he kicks out Chris, cancelled. If he don't, his channel will die for real.
I don't think he's gonna get canceled if he kicks out Chris. Like it seems like there's a lot of homophobes in his fan base that will just keep watching or probably enjoy that.
An inescapable situation is a pretty good way of describing the drama, which is also why it deserves the harsh label of being a nightmare. Jimmy has no option but to publicly express acceptance of Chris's transition, as silence or even worse, disapproval would come with obvious severe repercussion.
Bro, if Chris, like if MrBeast said, "Oh, I don't want Chris in the videos anymore," trust me, I don't think anything would happen to him. Like his fan base does not give a fuck like that, bro.
However, in accepting Chris's
there might be some that might whine, but after time, like they'll just forget about it.
Transition, Jimmy implies that this will be the new normal within the content, thus annoying a different group of people, many of whom will never express their true feelings and may rather simply click on fewer MrBeast videos. If this is the case, Jimmy has no option but to accept this fate, as removing Chris from the videos in any kind of way could create an even more severe media firestorm. The only clean solution, should things go south, might be for Chris to resign himself, and even then rumors and bad press will be unavoidable. Whether it be arrogance or ignorance, Chris seems oblivious to how this whole thing might impact Jimmy, forgetting that he achieved his current level of success by avoiding this exact type of drama.
Bro, you just being weird, bro. Like, this dude is just projecting his weird shit onto them, bro. We come there for the content. Like, MrBeast does some really wild videos that are gonna get content regardless of what he does. Like, his videos just alone are just insane. That alone will get clicks, and he's not one of those clickbaits. Like his channel, like when you see the thumbnail, you think it's a clickbait, but he actually does the crazy shit that's on the, you get what I'm saying, on the thumbnail. This dude is gonna be big regardless whether he kicks out. He could kick out the whole crew. Actually, maybe not the whole crew, but we'll still watch this.